Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well today. So we've made it to the final race of the regular season and there are still a few questions left to be answered. Can Tyler Reddick or Alex Bowman point their way in? Will we have a new winner that shakes up the playoffs? Who will finish second to William Byron in the regular season standings and win those 10 crucial playoff points? Is Ryan Preece going to flip again? Let's get into it. I think the biggest question we need to answer is who could possibly win their way into the playoffs. As we know, superspeedway racing is a little more unpredictable than what we typically see in the NASCAR Cup Series, so really anyone could win this race. But there are a few drivers that are more likely to come out on top. The driver with the best average finish among full-time drivers in the next-gen era is actually John Hunter Nemechek. In his 3 starts at Daytona, he has an average finish of 9.0, which includes the top 5 and 2 top 10s. He does have fewer starts than most drivers in the field though, so a smaller sample size makes it a little harder to predict how he may perform this weekend, but it would certainly shake things up if that 42 can walk away from Daytona with a win. But Nemechek isn't the only driver looking to win their way into the playoffs that has performed well at Daytona. Alex Bowman boasts an average finish of 10.4, including 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s across 7 races, while Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch have average finishes of 12.3 and 12.9 respectively over the same period. Expect all 3 of these teams to be looking to maximize their day with a win. However, the 48 team could also find their way into the playoffs on points, if there's no new winner or if they're able to make up the points difference on the 45 team. Speaking of the 45, Tyler Reddick has to be feeling some pressure this week. The defending regular season champion has not had a stellar season. While he has maintained a solid place in the point standings, the 45 has not shown consistent winning speed this year. And when they have, like at Richmond this past weekend, something happens to take them out of the equation. Reddick is currently in on points, and even with a new winner, he is likely to advance. However, if he gets caught up in an early wreck and Bowman has a good race, coupled with a new race winner below the cut line, the 45 team may find themselves outside of the playoffs. Reddick has managed an average finish at Daytona of 22.9. He's going to need to be better than that on Sunday if he hopes to keep his spot. There are, of course, some other notable teams that are currently below the cut line, and these would include the 47 team of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a past winner at this track, the 6 team of Brad Keselowski, who's shown much more speed in recent weeks, and the 54 team of Ty Gibbs, who will likely have the full support of the entire Joe Gibbs Racing garage to get that last car into the playoffs. Moving on to the regular season points, we already know that William Byron is the winner of the regular season championship, having locked that up last week in Richmond. However, the battle for second is still too close to call. Chase Elliott comes into the weekend with the advantage here, with a 5-point lead over Denny Hamlin. Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, and Christopher Bell all find themselves in the hunt as well, trailing Elliott by 12, 15, and 23 points respectively. Any of these drivers could end up winning this fight, but it's worth noting that none of these drivers have particularly great numbers at Daytona. The best of the 5 being Christopher Bell, with an average finish of 18.0. But he is also the furthest back and will require things to go wrong with the other 4 if he hopes to walk away with second. I think the driver to watch here is Ryan Blaney. Team Penske has shown time and again that they can perform at superspeedways. Expect him to run up front and earn stage points. A lot can also go wrong at Daytona, especially the summer race. The big one is almost a certainty, and if it's anything like last year, expect some late race cautions and possibly even a red flag. The pressure is on these teams to perform, and when teams need to push, mistakes are more likely to happen. It'll be interesting to see if the teams that already have cars locked in the playoffs try to push the car currently on the outside looking in to victory. Hendrick, Gibbs, and Trackhouse all have one team currently without a win. 2311 have 2 winless teams, and teams like RFK and Spire currently have all their cars outside the playoffs. Can one of these heavy hitters get their final car locked in, or can one of the other teams work together to get at least one of their entries into the playoffs? I look for RFK in particular to bring their A game. The Fords seem to perform a little better on super speedways, and I look for that team to really work well together to find themselves in position to get one of their cars into the playoffs. RCR is another team to look out for. While at most tracks they lag behind the other Chevy teams, they do tend to perform at super speedways. Expect them to put their all behind the 8 team to get them into the playoffs. Pit crews are another important piece to this puzzle. Since track position is so important with the current package, the team that can consistently get their driver off pit road the fastest will give them a really good shot at coming away with the win. There is also the question of hanging back versus running up front. Cars that run up front are more likely to earn stage points, but the teams that hang back are going to save more fuel in the draft, which will in turn allow them to shorten their final pit stop and possibly make up a lot of track position. Whether a team earns stage points or not could have implications on both the battle for second and who ends up pointing their way in between the 45 and the 48. A lot can happen at Daytona, especially when the majority of the field is in a situation where they need to win to keep their seasons alive. Expect many drivers to be unwilling to cut their competitors a break, aggressive moves, and likely a big one or two. So who do I think is going to win this race? I'm probably going to get burned on this, but I'm going to go with the 8 team of Kyle Busch. They showed up last year and nearly won their way into the playoffs, and I think they are going to bring the same energy this weekend. So now I want to ask you, who do you think will win this weekend? Will it be a new winner who shakes things up, or will we see someone already locked in take the checkered flag? Can Tyler Reddick hold off Alex Bowman, and who's going to take second in the regular season? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.